Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Chavez. I am a board certified immigration lawyer. And today I am going to talk about the roller coaster ride that has been DACA. It has not been a fun ride, especially for those who just want to file their applications for the first time. And well, since the DACA program began in 2012, we have certainly seen some ups and downs, right? There are times when DACA is operating fully, and there have been other moments, unfortunately, where parts of DACA were shut down. And in 2017, one of those down moments, if you recall, DACA was being phased out, which led to a ton of litigation. First time applicants were no longer allowed to apply for DACA. But things started to look better last year with the Supreme Court decision last summer. If you remember, we were all excited about that. It kept DACA alive for the time being. And later in the year, after some court litigation, USCIS announced it was going to accept new DACA applications from first time filers, which brings us up to this point, another low point with the latest court decision coming out of Texas. One of the things the judge said here was that DACA was never created lawfully, that it did not go through this process of rulemaking before it was implemented, meaning there needed to be some sort of notice to the public about DACA before the program was carried out. And because that wasn't done here, the judge ruled that DACA was illegal. Well, anyways, what does that mean for DACA recipients now? What does it mean for those who haven't filed their DACA yet? Well, here's what it means. If you have DACA right now, it's still valid. You're still good. If you need to renew it, you can still file your renewal for DACA, and I still recommend that you do so at least 5 months prior to expiration if you can't. But at least your DACA benefits are still available to you. Now, if you have DACA and need to file for your travel permit, also known as advanced parole, that option is still available to you. You still must meet the requirements for applying, but the good thing here is that it's still possible. How about new DACA applications? Is USCIS going to approve initial DACA requests, meaning you've never filed for DACA in the past and you need to file your application for the first time? Well, unfortunately, the court said no. But you can still file your application. They just won't process it for the time being. But it seems the court left the door a little open for the possibility of DACA returning in some shape or form. For starters, the case is being appealed, and the appellate court can always reverse the order or grant what is called a stay, which is an order by the reviewing court to block the lower court's order or mandate while the matter is resolved on appeal. So, in that sense, DACA in its entire form could return. The other way we can see DACA again, which is interesting, is that USCIS is in the process of introducing the DACA program through this rulemaking process that I mentioned earlier. If you remember, the judge was so hung up on the fact that DACA did not go through this process when it was created. But what if DHS does it now? And what if it complies with the order now? Could we see a different version of DACA? Maybe DACA 2.0? Well, we'll just have to wait and see what will happen, but it's important to stay tuned. And lastly, what I want to say is don't lose hope. If there's a silver lining to this decision, it is that it's invigorating talks of dreamer legislation in Congress, and it could force Congress to act sooner than later, which would provide a permanent solution and a pathway to legal permanent residence for the millions of dreamers that are living in our country. Because in reality, we need an end to this stop and go cycle, this up and down, where In one moment we have DACA, and the next day, poof, it's gone by court order. We don't want to be on this roller coaster anymore. In other words, too many lives are being placed on hold while waiting for the outcome of the next court decision, which is not fair. It's just not a way to live from court decision to court decision. These individuals deserve more certainty, and that's why it's important that we work toward a permanent solution. So these are the main points from the recent court decision, which partially suspended DACA. DACA is still open for business, but initial applications have been suspended until further notice. And I do realize that there are still some open questions about filing, and USCIS is supposed to be providing more information soon. So be on the lookout for that. Also, this information can change just like that. So, what I'm saying now could be different next week or next month or even a year from now. So, it's important that you stay on top of the news. You could subscribe to our channel or a page and get the latest information, or you can even download our app, Law Pilot Guardian, which, aside from having really cool features, you'll be receiving alerts about important immigration news. And you can find that information on our description or website. Most importantly, consult with an immigration lawyer about your case so you can decide what is best for you. Thank you, and I'll see you later.